Welcome, everybody, to sunny Talladega, Alabama. Here at the Talladega Superspeedway, we're getting ready to kick off a brand new season number 2 for the Thursday Night Nitro Series. My name is Adam LaVox here on the Boom Tube. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Glad to have you as always. It was a fun season last season with the 280 Truck Series. This is an evolution of that series with a little bit of rebranding sprinkled over the top. It is now the Thursday Night Nitro Series, and we are running the brand new to iRacing ARCA cars. So really cool to have those cars. You see the Chevrolet SS, the Toyota Camry, and the Ford Mustang out on track. These drivers also excited to debut these cars and get comfortable with them as the season goes on. It should be a great race here today at Talladega Superspeedway. Talladega Superspeedway. I'll tell you why it's super. This is a drafting track where anything can happen. A lot of seasons kick off the race, the first race of the season at Daytona, but we're going to twist things up a little bit, shake it up, if you will. We're going to start here in Alabama at the Talladega Superspeedway. It is a 2.66-mile racetrack where carnage lurks around every corner. The racing happens tight and close, 3 and 4 wide in packs, as you'll see as the drivers out on the track for practice will demonstrate. Pushing, shoving, all within mere inches of each other. It's going to be a good race this afternoon, and as always, glad to have you here. A little bit of rebranding for the channel as well, going from Faster Horses Media now to the Boom Tube this season. Of course, named after those loud noisemakers sticking outside the side of these race cars, bringing pleasant sounds to our ears each and every week. Looking to spice things up a little bit. Few new faces this season, not quite on track yet, but I'd say 2/3 of the field are new to this series. Our defending champion, Kyle Nadeau, is not with us this season due to a couple circumstances preventing him from joining us, but his teammate, former teammate Craig Bell, with us once again in that number 14, looking mighty fine in that Chevrolet SS. Returning also Aaron Mack in the 31. Randall Peasley, of course, in the 63. Wrapping up practice, getting ready to head into qualifying here in just a moment. You see the field will reset, and they will be out on track again shortly to kick off this qualifying session. Qualifying, not super important here. In pack racing, it can keep you out of trouble, either to qualify in the front or the back. Staying out in front is preferred for some people. Stay ahead of the trouble. Staying back in the rear, minding your own business, kind of riding it out, letting everyone in front of you do the hard racing and just save your car, save that equipment for the end of the race, and try to give yourself room to avoid any potential accidents that might happen throughout the race. That could be the strategy for some. Some might just be pedal to the metal the whole way, taking every run they get. But we'll see where they stack up here after qualifying, as we have several drivers heading out onto track. Randall Peasley heading out now. Dalton Brewington heading out on track, as well as Ryan Bailey returning for a second season here. Brad Yake, new to the series. Max Bauman is well in that number 89 THR Toyota Camry. Zach Miller, of course, our league owner and administrator, in the number 38. Back for a second season. Tristan Rhodes out on track in that number 20 machine. Devin Maines returning in that easily recognizable number 5, the silver number 5, heading back to try to make another championship run. Came on really strong in the last few races of the Truck Series last season, and expecting that to happen once again. Jake Dolphin back in the number 13, as well as Josh Emerson in the black 73. Barry Knapp making his return to the 42. That Budweiser Chevrolet SS out on track now for his first lap. Coming down to his first lap, Mike Morker in the 46. That Classic City Chevrolet paint scheme as always. Alex Wiggins returning as well, not yet out on track though. Cody Schultz coming back for a second season in the number 30 machine. Looking sharp in that silver Coors Light Chevrolet. Chris Vincent, a new face to the Thursday Night Nitro Series in that number 21 TWR machine. Chris will be teammates with previously mentioned Devin Maines in that 5. It's going to be a 5 and 21 for Team Watson Racing, TWR. Snake River Racing, we haven't quite gotten around to yet. That is going to be made up of the number 13 of Doffing. See if we can find him out on track. That number 13 right there. Daniel Jensen in the number 29. As well as Cody Schultz, who we had just seen in the number 30. Those are drivers making up Snake River Racing once again. Reactor 9 Esports, that's going to be made up of the 10 of Ryan Bailey. 88 of Kenny Reel and the 20 of Tristan Rhodes. Drivers ending qualifying. We'll get those results up for you shortly. Looks like Max Baumann going to take the pole with a 55.064. Tremendous lap there for Baumann here in qualifying. Followed by Brendan Odell, the 21 of Chris Vinson, Dalton Brewington in the number 7, Barry Knapp in the 42, and Devin Maines in the 5 comes out P6, Ryan Bailey, P7 in the number 10 machine, Greg Burchett, P8, Robert Eagle, P9, Tristan Rhodes, going to round out the top 10 in qualifying with just seconds left in the session. Oh, last minute. Frank Bell sneaks in with the 55.06 to take over the top spot. That's going to bump everyone down. That's going to bump Rhodes out of the top 10. Let's see if Robert Eagle can hang on to that last spot in the top 10. I believe it will happen. Crank Bell going to put a sneaky lap in and take over that top spot. Baumann second, Odell third. Giving a look down the standings. From qualified, Crank Bell first, Baumann second, Odell third, Vincent fourth, Dalton Brewington fifth, Barry Knapp sixth, Devin Maines starting P7, Ryan Bailey P8, P9 is Greg Burchett, and P10 Robert Eagle. Starting P11, Tristan Rhodes in the number 20, Alan Blue returning for another season here with us, starting 12th. Aaron Mack in the number 31, starting P13 with Zach Miller to his outside in 14th. Brad Yake qualifies 15th with Peasley to the outside in 16th. Josh Emerson, P17, Mike Morkrid, P18. Cody Schultz, P19. Jake Doffing is going to start to his outside in P20. Dan Jensen, 21st. Kenny Reel, 22nd. And Alex Wiggins did not post a time. He will roll off the grid at P23. Getting ready here for a happy hour, a few short minutes. We're able to talk about the race and talk about what the drivers should expect today and what they need to do to be successful. As most of you are probably familiar with, this is a drafting racetrack. You cannot make moves by yourself. This is not a short track. This is not your local track. These cars are traveling at such a speed where they need a car in front of them to break through the air, and they're going to push that car along as hard as they can. Passing happens in packs, not solo, so you want your line on the racetrack, whether it be the inside, middle, outside, wherever you happen to be, you want that lane to move forward. And for the drivers, it's important to be able to see where the momentum is. Those who have live spotters, that is a spotter that is not provided by the iRacing software, you can have a friend whispering in your ear, or yelling in your ear as it may be, telling you where to move, where cars are in relation to you, where your teammates are, and other such useful information to assist you throughout this race. It comes very much in handy when you've got cars within inches of you on all sides. That spotter can tell you which line is starting to gain momentum. If that outside line is starting to gain numbers, maybe they went from only having 2 cars to having 6 cars. They're starting to move forward again because they're pushing through the air more effectively than the other lines. They want to get you slid up there in front of that line or somewhere in that line in order for you to advance your position in the field. Also of note, you need luck today. Talladega is a unique racetrack, same thing with Daytona, in where your fate is not your own. You are depending on the other 20-plus drivers in the field to race cleanly, to be respectful, to give you a little bit of space when you need it. Of course, that all goes out the window in the final closing laps of the race. Everybody just goes as hard as possible, but it's all about survival, which is why we mentioned multiple strategies throughout the day, starting in front, starting in the rear. We saw a couple drivers not qualify, might have been intentional. Playing the strategy to start in the rear, avoid any early accidents, and save your equipment for the end of the race. Multiple different strategies in play. We'll try to probably see a lot of teammates coming down pit road. If we have green flag pit stops, they'll be wanting to come down pit road together so they're not driving by themselves and get overtaken by the pack, because the difference in speed between a solo car and multiple cars in a line is monumental. It's about 10 to 11 miles an hour, so obviously you are going to lose a significant amount of ground every single lap if you find yourself losing the pack. Drivers in the back of the pack can have to be very careful not to lose the tail end of the field, otherwise they will find themselves in no man's land, getting lapped by the field as the race goes on. The final thing you have to have today is teamwork. For a lot of these drivers who are on a team with other drivers, they're able to strategize with, tell each other when to make moves, when to hold back. That is a very important tool for these drivers. The more information they can get from their teammates and the more they can work together, it keeps them from ending up in a position where they are all alone in no man's land trying to find a way forward. If you got friends out there, that is the best place to be, is around your friends, and some friendships are just going to get soured. That is the way of Talladega Superspeedway. Drivers getting ready to grid as we see the Mustang pace car spawning in right at the start-finish line. Speaking of start-finish line, it's a little bit different here at Talladega. Normally, right in the middle of the tri-oval, that slight curve in the middle of the front straightaway, that is where the start-finish line would be at Daytona or Atlanta or any other such track. But not here at Talladega. Not only is it a massive racetrack, it is also a unique racetrack in that the start-finish line is placed farther down the front stretch than a lot of others. So you might have won the race to the middle of the tri-oval, but what really matters is where you are at the finish line. If it was Daytona, you might have won in the tri-oval, but that's still several hundred yards to the start-finish line where anything can happen. Wrecks can happen. Passes can happen. We've seen 4 wide side-by-side finishes, and I'm ready to see some more of it today, and I hope you are too. We're getting gridded up, and we are ready to go racing here at Talladega with the Thursday Night Nitro Series. Max Baumann going to lead him down to the start today. As we see the grid roll on by. Side by side, they're getting lined up. We'll go ahead and keep going with a couple of these teams here and introduce you to a new team in the field this week.
Not going.
All right, sorry, this season. Brad Yake in the 1. That is that purple car with THR on the hood. This is Team Highlands Racing. It is made up of Brad Yake in the 1. Dalton Brewington in the 7. Robert Eagle in the number 9. Let's see if we can get you a little better view here. There we go. Robert Eagle in the number 9 and Max Baumann in the 89. All racing for Team Highlands Racing. RPM's made up of Brennan Odell, that number 16 right here. This is Royal Pegasus Motorsport. Made up of the 16, like I said, Brandon Odell. The 23, Alan Blue. You can find him in the order. There he is. And a 33 of Greg Burchett. Up here, Chef Greg in that 33. Bright-colored Chevrolet. But for now, we're getting ready to go green. Let's go ahead and fasten those seatbelts. Get a snack, get a drink, whatever you need to enjoy this race. Thanks for coming along with us. We're getting ready to go green next time by. It looks like lights came back on in the pace car. We'll see them go out this time. We'll go green the next time around. Going to delay the start just a moment. Looks like Bell gonna elect to take the inside lane. For the start, leader will get lane choice after any cautions throughout this race. No help for Craig Bell from his teammate Aaron Mack all the way back in, let's see, I believe he's starting P13, so quite a few rows back between them. We'll see if they can get linked up throughout the race. Looks like Max has close by help from Dalton Brewington in the 7. See him third lane on that inside line. Probably have a little better chance of getting linked up as this thing goes. All right, field all bunched together, getting ready to roll here at Talladega. Pace lights are off. We will go green this time by. Everybody here hoping for a nice, clean, uneventful beginning to the race. You don't want to get taken out early. There are no fast repairs in this race. Your car gets damaged, you have to sit there and wait on pit road for your crew to repair the damage. No instant fixes here. Pace car is going to pull off and hit pit lane. We're getting ready to go green here. Crank Bell to the inside in the 14. Max Baumann to the outside in the 89. Flagman is prepared. We will go green. We are green at Talladega, kicking off Season 2 of the Thursday Night Nitro Series. Strong help right away on the outside from Vincent. Behind the 89 of Baumann. Pushes him out to the lead early. They're going to clear Crank Bell before turn 1. 16 of Odell behind Bell. Trying to close the gap. Baumann slides down to the inside. He's going to assume the lead. as they enter the back straightaway. To his outside, still the 21 of Chris Vincent, 2 rows back, followed by the 42 of Barry Knapp, the 5 of Devin Maines. Already fanning out to 3 wide mid-pack. It is getting dicey already. 4 wide right there. We see a car in the wall to the outside, just scraping. Everybody makes it through. Still 4 wide in the back. Everybody scrambling for early track position, trying to get linked up with teammates. Far back, it's a mad scramble. We see the 42 losing some positions early. He's down 7 spots from the start. That's going to be Barry Knapp. Finally gets that car gathered up. He's got help from the 23 of Alan Blue behind him. Back out front, Bauman still leads the way. He's got no help. Bad push from the 21 to the 7, it looks like. 7 gets forced down to the apron. He's looking for a way back up on the racetrack. He gets back up, no incident. He's got his teammate in the 9 to his outside. That's going to be Robert Eagle. Bauman losing a lot of ground after the help got shuffled behind him. That's going to allow Crank Bell, Brendan Odell, and Robert Eagle to clear him on the outside. Sliding down in front of his teammate is the 9 of Eagle. Bell and Odell still lead on the outside. Bell's going to clear. He's going to slide down to the inside lane, now leaving. The 16 all by himself on the outside just before the caution. Caution is out. Here on lap 3, we're going to go ahead and take a look back at the replay, try to figure out what happened in the back of the field. This might be a little too far back. Yeah, we see the trouble started earlier. We'll take a little bit more of a rewind here, see if we can figure out. It looks like the 73 got involved early. We'll go ahead and jump on board with Josh Emerson here and see what happened. Going back just a little bit farther. Possibly a bad push going into the corner. No, they get 4 wide. Emerson might not have known they were 4 wide. You see Burchett. I believe that's Burchett to the inside. It could be Alan Blue. See if we can get another view. Now that is going to be the 32 of Burchett to his inside. Looks like the 21 there as well. Chris Vincent then down to the inside. Dalton Brewington will play it in slow speed. We'll see what happens here. Looks like just a bit of a pinch. The 72 or 73 of Emerson doesn't see that they're 4 wide. Spotter might not have called it. Just pinches the nose of Burchett, and unfortunately the 21 involved. Hard contact with the outside wall. See others involved here. Piling in as well. I believe that's going to be the 10 car on the inside. Another 1 car of Brad Yake with heavy contact at the outside wall as well. Front end absolutely gone from him. Zach Miller gets involved. Front end missing from that car. Big wreck already with a big one here at Talladega on lap 3. A lot of cars heading down pit lane. They're going to top off on fuel now. In hopes of possibly getting a shorter pit stop later. Maybe seeing some strategy played already. Several cars not involved in that wreck. We saw head down pit lane. Looks like Bell does as well. He's going to surrender the lead to Brennan Odell in the 16. Under caution for the first time. I'm sure it won't be the last time. We got 80 laps of racing here at Talladega Superspeedway. That's going to round out to be about 212 miles of racing here this afternoon. Trouble early, but plenty of time to recover for a lot of these drivers. A lot of incidental damage there. Might not be too hard to come back for some of those drivers without severe damage. You note a couple of them had A little worse damage. Of note, Brad Yake definitely missing some parts off that vehicle. Back end completely demolished off the number 1 car. Of course, Josh Emerson in 73 missing the front end off of that Chevrolet, as well as Zach Miller. He's back out on track. Car's not looking too good. That hood does not look like it's going to stay in place on the number 38 machine. A little bit of weaving, maybe some steering damage as well. I think he's probably going to come back around and pit again, just trying his best to avoid losing multiple laps. Gonna take some damage repair, then get back out there and catch up to the field and pit once again to take some more repair, more than likely. I don't see that 38 being able to continue as it is. We'll see what he elects to do here. That is exactly what he's going to do. Coming back down pit road is the 38. Yake, looks like that car might be completely undrivable, judging by how low the rear end is sitting. I think it might have a broken wheel in the rear end of that Toyota Camry, preventing him from going back out there and utilizing the same strategy. See the 20, Kristen Rhodes also see engine damage there, the smoke coming out from that machine, as well as the rear end damage. See Ryan Bailey with heavy front end damage as well. We saw him nowhere to go on the top line after several cars hit the outside wall. Fortunately, a lot of damage for his number 10 machine. Cody Schultz looking pretty clean in the number 30. Maybe some minor front end damage. Doesn't look too bad though. Should still be fine for this race. Everyone else looking pretty clean. So we got about 4 cars with severe damage. Brennan Odell going to lead him to the green flag this time with Max Bauman in the 89 to his inside. Lights are off on the pace car. We will be going green again this time around. Bauman with help from his teammate on the inside. Odell with help from his teammate Alan Blue on the outside. 2 pairs of teammates leading the field to the green flag here.
Green flag.
As we head through to lap number 7, green flag in the air. Shaky start both inside and outside. Still struggling to get lined up. A little bit shaky in that outside lane. Odell's going to bail on his teammate. He's going to slide down in front of Max Bauman for that first position on the inside lane. Alan Blue gets a big shove for Crank Bell in the 14 on the outside. They're coming back on the outside. Here they come. Gaining momentum. A little bit of side drafting from Odell on the outside lane. Getting nice and tight up against the inside lane. Pulling off just like that. Trying to break that suction force off the side of the 16. He's going to go to the lead now. Alan Blue, the number 23, drives around his teammate Brennan Odell for the lead here at Talladega on lap number 7. Down in front of his teammate, now in the inside lane. To the outside, Crank Bell, followed by the 31 of Aaron Mack. We got pairs of teammates everywhere. I told you it would not take long for these teammates to find each other, and here we are. We got 3 pairs up front already. Possibly 3 teammates together if Greg Burchett on the outside can find his way down to the inside lane, that number 33. Right now, it's going to be Crank Bell on the outside. You see that outside lane gaining momentum down the back straight. 3 wide in the back. We see the 88 Kenny Reel on the outside trying to make something happen. Gets hung out to dry. Has to find a spot in line to settle in. Still battle of the teams up front. Got Royal Pegasus to the inside. Longshot Motorsports and 14-31 to the outside. Here we are. We've got some unlikely makeshift teammates in the outside. We got Robert Eagle, the number 9 in the 88 of Kenny Reel, trying to make something happen in that third lane. We'll see if that 2 cars is enough to get it done. Racing hard already here on lap number 9. There are points at stake. 1 lap led is 1 championship point. So 1 bonus point if you're able to lead just 1 lap. Drivers also trying to get the fastest lap of the race. There will be 1 bonus point awarded for that. That will count towards your championship points as well. So drivers keeping that in mind as they go through and race today. See the 2 in the back. You see Eagle and Reel both on the inside lane now. They went around on the outside, slid to the inside. They're making up some momentum as they find their way well inside the top 10 now. Eagle up to P6, followed right behind by Reel in the 24. That should be 88. Not sure why he's showing up as 24. We will get that resolved before next week, though. Still Bell and Mack leading the way. The inside line starting to settle out. Everybody just kind of riding. Don't want to get in too much trouble early on in the race. It is only lap number 10 of 80. Not even close to halfway yet, and these drivers are looking to survive. Got a secondary pack forming slightly farther back. It looks like we got some people on a conservative strategy. I believe I saw... Yes, it was. We got the threesome: Alex Wiggins, Cody Schultz, Dan Jensen all back here. Those 3 teammates going to ride in the back, stay as far away and out of trouble as they can, but they got several cars there, so they really should not lose much ground to the leaders since there are the 3 of them working together. They should be comparable speed, so they don't have to worry about going a lap down, getting lapped by that lead pack. This makes it easy for them on green flag pit stops as well. They can pit together and come out together and not have to worry about trying to find somebody to work with. Conservative strategy early on for BDM Racing here. Sorry, not BDM Racing. This would be Snake River Racing. Alex Wiggins joining them. Back up to the lead pack, still the 14 out front, followed by the 31. Royal Pegasus Racing on the outside, trying to get linked back up. 16 of Odell got shuffled out of line, and he's going to head back to the rear of the pack. That's what happens. Trying to go solo. Doesn't work out quite so well. He's going to drop to the rear of this pack, hopefully not lose the draft here. 14-31 comfortably out front. Nothing to worry about for them. Followed in 3rd and 4th by Devin Maines and Kenny Reel. Damaged car, Zach Miller on the outside, getting lapped by the field once again. I don't know if you can hear it in the audio there. You heard a couple lifts there from that number 14, trying to back up to his teammate. The key to staying on the bumpers for that lead car to modulate that throttle or potentially drag the brake, whatever you got to do to keep right on the front of the nose of the car behind you. What happens with these cars is if you get separated with just two cars, that it's hard for that second car to catch the bumper of the lead car. I like to picture it like a beach ball stuck in between the two cars that you cannot push through. You need a little bit of help to pop that bubble of air and get up to the rear bumper of the car. A third car in line usually helps that, so the second car can get right back up there. Just taking a little bit of air off the spoiler helps that second car get up to the lead car. But without a third car in line, the leader is forced to lift a little bit to be able to get to the bumper of the car pushing him. Devin Maines getting up there in that number 5, making that a non-factor up there for Crank Bell. He's able to go flat out now. That 31 of Aaron Mack shoving as hard as possible in that U.S. Army esports machine. See, Kenny Real gets shuffled to the outside here. He's going to lose a few spots in the mix, trying his best to side draft and maintain the ground where he can, hoping to see a hole here. He might be able to slide down here behind Peasley in the 63. No, that gap's going to close. He's still stuck on the outside and heading toward the back of the lead pack. Getting shuffled out is not where you want to be. Finally finds a hole to slide in line here. Peasley finds himself in the same situation. Maybe looking to make a move at the outside. Not going to happen. Got to be careful there that the 16 doesn't stick a nose to the inside. That could be a bad day for everyone. See another lap car coming up on the racetrack. And it's going to be the number 10 car, Ryan Bailey. Still missing a front end on that Toyota. Mack is coming fast. Hopefully gets up and out of the way. Big weave there from third place. Devin Maines coming off of turn 2. Real back to the outside. Falling a little bit farther back. Possibly trying to stay out of trouble here. 10 car does not move out of the way. The pack is going to have to try to navigate around him at full speed. Everyone taking evasive measures toward the back of the pack. Couple cars trying to push that number 10 machine. Include them in part of the draft. I'm not sure if they could see the front end of that car. They would be trying to make that happen. Car on the outside wall just a minute ago. I believe that was a 33, Greg Burchett. Definitely, we see the right front tire hanging off that Royal Pegasus machine. He's going to head down to pit lane for repairs, and extensive repairs they're going to be as his teammates continue on. Frank Bell still leads the way, followed by his teammate in the 31, Aaron Mack. With Devin Maines in the 5, bringing up P3. Back up toward the front, we see the 42 of Barry Knapp. We saw him fade rather early in the race, but here, as we tick off the laps toward the middle of the race, starting to see him work his way forward. Same with the number 63 of Randall Peasley. Peasley up 11 spots from the start of the race. Same thing with Kenny Reel in the 88. Back here drafting off the number 16. Up 13 spots from the start. Fading back, we got Alan Blue and Dalton Brewington trying to work something out. Getting separated from that pack, possibly as a result of the 33 getting in the fence. We saw a bit of a fracturing. That threesome behind them catches them. That might be beneficial for them to be able to get some additional speed out of this second pack. Jumping back to that group, it's made up of Cody Schulten 30, the 13, Jake Doffing, Dan Jensen the 29, and Alex Wiggins in the 11. Trying to make time on the leaders, prevent themselves from going a lap down here in the back. These are the last cars on the lead lap right here. Currently, Ryan Bailey in the 10 would get the lucky dog should we see a caution right now, but I believe he and Zach Miller are both on the same lap. So we see Ryan Bailey actually losing just a little bit of time to Miller, so that may change in the future, but for right now, if the caution were to come out, Bailey would receive the lucky dog and get that lap back. Still single file out front. Everybody keeping it tidy, trying to run a smart race. See Max Bauman and Robert Eagle, the teammates, tacking on to the end of this group. I believe that's a 33 of Greg Burchett possibly coming out of pit lane. No, that was not Burchett. Here we go with group. Group of 4, we got the Snake River Racing guys overtaking Brewington and Blue, the 7 and 23. They're going to try to slot in behind them, catch that draft, and work with them to get back up to that lead pack. Go ahead and give you that gap there on your ticker. On the screen, the standings board, they are about, let's see here, running about 10 seconds behind that lead pack. Lead pack will be just about on the back straight at this point. They are indeed still led by Crank Bell. Coming up within the next 10 to 15 laps should be some green flag pit stops. That's going to be crucial for these drivers not to overshoot the pit box, to do everything to execute as well as possible. Line up that car nice and squarely within the center of the pit stall. And of course, to pack as much fuel in those cars as possible. One disadvantage to leading so many laps as Crank Bell has in that number 14 out front, you are using more fuel than everyone behind you. Everyone behind you probably running about 3/4 throttle because you're breaking through the air for them. Cars behind you face less air resistance and are using less fuel as a result. So expect that 14 to be one of the first ones to come down pit lane. You recall he did pit back on lap number 4. We saw that first caution of the afternoon. Brad Yake finally get the repairs done. He's back out on track in the number 1 machine, making some laps. He's got positions to gain. Burchett remains in the pits for enough laps. Yate could overtake him. That's a spot. That's a point up for grabs. Every point counts here in the season. Not only will there be a driver's championship, there will be a team championship for all the teams competing in this season number 2 of the Thursday Night Nitro Series. Taking the 2 best finishing positions for each team and averaging those, which is going to result in that team's score for the week. Let's jump on board the number 31. He's riding behind your leader. We'll see just how close they're getting in this pack. Let's jump inside the cockpit, see what Aaron Mack sees following along behind the leader, Frank Bell. Bell lifts off the throttle just a little bit just to get back to the front bumper with a 31. 31 gives him a nice push coming into turn number 3. And great teamwork between these two so far this race. They are controlled the pack, controlled this lead pack flawlessly. Expect them to continue to do so throughout the afternoon. Jumping back to Devin Maines behind them. Devin playing it safe, making sure to stay off that number 31 just a little bit. You don't want to push the car who's pushing the leader. You end up with a sandwich and potentially pick up the back tires of that second place car if he's already pushing on the leader. Get him sandwiched a little bit, and his back end of his car will be lifted by the nose of yours if you push the second place car as the lead car. See a couple lap cars here side by side. Hopefully this doesn't end up bad for the leaders. See them sliding up the racetrack. Looks like it's going to be clean. We're going to have to split them. The 10 goes to the bottom once again. Not a great position to be in there as a lap car. Everybody making it through safely. Thankfully, this lead pack was single file at the time. We were able to shoot that gap in the middle without any issue. Lead pack still extending that gap back here. We're looking at about 10.5 seconds to this secondary pack. As it stands, you see the 30, Cody Schultz getting almost shucked out of line there. Zach Miller still with heavy front end damage on that 38, just hoping for a caution to get some more repairs on that machine. 13 having a little bit of trouble pushing Cody Schultz, leader of this pack. Gets it gathered up. These cars are starting to make ground again. Gap still sits at 10.5 seconds to the rear of the lead pack. As expected, we see a few cars pull off onto pit lane here. Oh, contact. Dan Jensen takes out Kenny Real on entry to pit lane, locks up the tires in the rear end, and spins himself. That's going to cost him dearly coming into the pits here, potentially separating this draft pack into 2 sections, as both of those drivers are going to have very long pit lane times. Not what they wanted to see, as these cars were all attempting to work together in that second pack, and that could cost them more time to the lead pack. We'll have to see how it shakes out After the green flag pit stops are done, expect the lead pack to start coming in. We see they start to fragment already, losing half of that lead pack. Caution flag comes out on the racetrack. Lead pack is going to be happy to see this, and that rear pack that just had trouble in the pits and got separated probably going to be happy to see this as well. This is going to bunch everyone up. That second pack is going to take over the lead, as you'll see the lead cars hit pit lane for fuel. Out the window goes the green flag strategy that these teams might have had planned out. Frank Bell is going to lead the first 8 cars down pit lane. And more to come. Dan Jensen's going to come down a second time to top off that number 29. Possibly get some damage repair as well. Plenty of drivers out here still with damage to repair. You see the 10 still missing the front end out there. The 38, Zach Miller, definitely going to want some damage repair on his Chevrolet as well. I'll look back here. Recall that hood not surprisingly stayed on the race car. Not attached very well, though. Still significant front damage on that number 38 machine. Cody Schultz elects to stay out on track. Craig Bell leads him out of pit lane easily. No gains, no losses. He's going to have his teammate Aaron Mack starting next to him once we go back green. 42 Knapp staying right in the mix. See a few positions lost by the 5. Devin Maines slips back 2 spots. He's back to P6 now. Only came into the pits P3. Max Bauman hanging out at the back of this lead pack. Probably exactly where he wants to be. Does not want to be mixing it up at the front. He doesn't have to. We are still not quite at the halfway point. We're creeping up on it here at lap number 33 of 80 laps this evening. Gradier got that Toyota Camry all fixed up. He looks ready to go for the remainder of this race. Hopefully this pack gets a clean restart and we can go back to racing. 89 and Max Bauman behind them, leading that pack, or bringing up the tail end of that lead pack. The rest of the field catching them. Robert Eagle, P8, Dalton Brewington, his teammate, P9. Rounding out the top 10 is going to be Alex Wiggins in the number 11 machine. It'll be interesting to see if that second pack that was playing the conservative strategy in the first run, if they do that again and bank on a late caution, or if they try to stay with the lead pack of cars this time around. Cody Schultz does elect to come down pit lane the second time here. That's going to hand over the lead to Crank Bell. Kenny Reel currently a lap down. He's going to get a wave around here, I do believe, as well as the 23 of Alan Blue. Both cars currently showing a lap down. And they will. They will bypass the pace car, get their lap back. Line up at the tail end of the field. Fairly eventful first half of this race so far. We've seen a lot of comers and goers, except for that number 14. He's been a constant out front with that number 31. His teammate Aaron Mack behind him. See Randall Peasley cracking even further into the top 5 in that number 63 American Legion Chevrolet. He's been having a spectacular afternoon so far. Managing this race as well as you could hope for. Silver driver is going to get their laps back. That'll give us roughly 14 cars on the lead lap. It's like Dan Jensen could go a lap down due to some repairs. He'll be one hoping for another quick caution to try to get that lucky dog free pass and get that lap back to be able to work with his teammates and have a shot at winning here this evening. Now, this does not mean much. You get a lap down at this point, there more than likely will be another caution. You'll have plenty of time to make up that ground. And honestly, this race isn't over. You could start dead last in the pack and still be able to draft your way up to the lead within a matter of only a couple laps. Talladega is such a wild card because you never know what's going to happen. The race develops very, very quickly. You could be leading with 1 to go, get shuffled out of the pack, and end up dead last halfway through that lap.
Green flag.
Green flag is in the air. Frank Bell's going to lead him off. Fouled by his teammate. We'll see if he can clear Mac. Mac's going to slide in behind, right behind the 14. 5 going to slide down as well. Sorry, the 63 going to slide down as well. That'll be Peasley. It's a breakaway for the top 2 right now, but they're going to be caught by the secondary pack. 89, Max Baumann to make his early moves. He's got his teammate Brewington in the 7 coming up behind him. Heavy side drafting for the 89, trying to get a pull off that inside lane, and he will. See just how effective that side drafting is. Got a good run there without a pusher directly behind him. Unfortunately, to complete that pass, he's going to need a little more help from his teammate behind. 2 teammates behind, 7 and 9, both Team Highlands Racing cars as well. Actually, all 4 of the cars in the outside lane. That's the whole enchilada of Team Highlands Racing, bringing it around the outside, trying to make something happen here. With Max Baumann leading the way, they're gaining momentum. They're up to P3 right now for Baumann. Trading spots with the 63, Randall Peasley. Bell and Max still handily managing their race out front on that inside lane. This will be good experience for the teammates in preparation for late race when they're really going to have to push together. See that inside lane, just a few more cars together, providing more momentum than they're able to overcome with just the 4 of them. Let's see if they end up sliding in on that inside lane, or if they're going to stay on the outside and try to make it work. Shuffle a little bit out of lane. Looks like Eagle's going to go to the inside lane and play it safe for now. As will Brad Yake in the 1. That purple car in the end of that line. Max Baumann going to be left hanging all by himself in that outside lane. Try to find a hole to slot in line to avoid losing more positions. Still falling back. P8 currently trying to avoid going back to P9. Cody Schultz in the 30 back there. That'll be that silver car behind Dan Jensen. Dan Jensen still a lap down in that number 29 Chevrolet. Number 30 Coors Light machine. Cody Schultz is the next lead lap position Max has to worry about. Things getting real tidy, nice and clean up front. Everyone getting single file. Just going to log laps for a while here as we creep up on the halfway mark of the race. Lap 38 right now. Frank Bell looking to lock up that most laps led bonus. That is 3 points for leading the most laps of the weekend. Ooh, big shuffle to the outside there. Crank Bell, everyone scatters. Huge checkup. causing trouble for a lot of drivers. Everyone gets split up, scattering 2 lanes wide. Big scare, still scattering back toward the rear of the pack. Easily shoots it to the outside, trying to get out of harm's way here as the inside pack still trying to gather things back up. Turning very fast laps now. Looks like the fastest lap of the day so far. Dalton Brewington in that number 7 machine with a 50.79. So as it stands, he'll be receiving that bonus point at the end of the race unless somebody else can come and snatch that away from him throughout the remainder of the run. Still plenty of time left to do that. It will be interesting to see if some of these teams will start to swap positions and try to make moves toward the front in order to get that free bonus point for leading a lap. See if anyone has anything for that duo in first and second. They've been pretty untouchable so far, working really well together. Crank Bell doing an excellent job of being able to stay on the front bumper of the 31 and not get too much separation between the two. They are putting on an absolute clinic so far today. How to effectively manage the draft and manage the runs of cars behind you and be able to stay out front. It seems like at will they can create that separation between the back of the 31 and the rest of the pack as they need to. It will be hard to beat this afternoon without some extreme circumstances shaking things up. But we still have quite a few different teams left who haven't really shown their cards yet. Still a lot of different strategies in play. Looks like that rear pack is going to play the same strategy as early in the race. They're going to be swapping leaders, trying to maximize fuel savings and play nice and conservative. Not be involved in any wrecks. Biding their time till the end. They crossed the halfway point just a lap ago. Got 100 miles of racing left to go this evening. Looks like we got an outside lane starting to form up toward the lead here. They might want that single point. We'll see what they do. If they try to charge toward the front for that lead, the lap-led point. The threesome of Team Highlands Racing popping out of line. Kenny Reel wants a piece of it as well. He's going to pop out of line, side draft the 5. Can't quite get the run he needs, so he's going to tuck back in line. Sure, these three are quite organized enough just yet to make that run happen. Looks like the 7 might be struggling just a little bit. Maybe some damage on the front of that machine. Can't quite tell. But just doesn't seem to be able to close up on the bumper of the 89 for whatever reason. Still lagging just a little bit behind. About a car length and a half. You see out front, Kenny Reel stuck it right in the front of that group again. He's going to go toward the front. P2 right now coming alongside the 14. He's got position. The 9 of Robert Eagle looking to the outside with his teammate. Oh, it looks like Kenny's going to lead that lap. I think he did. By the narrowest of margins, though. They were door-to-door. He was door-to-door with the 14 coming across the line. He's going to slide it down in front of the 14 now. Trying to take over the lead of this race. Robert Eagle trying to get around him. Very aggressive moves out of the top 2 right now. Eagle slides down to the inside. Reel to the outside. With Max Bauman in the 89 behind, the 14 is going to give the 9 a big push into turn 3. New leader for the first time in a long time. Eagle's going to claim his bonus point. Reel's going to claim his bonus point. Boo! Big wiggle out of the 88. Maybe too much of a push there from the 89. Got really unstable there for a minute. Not quite enough room to pull down. You saw he wanted to. Couldn't quite get clear. Still needs help from the 89 and the 7 on the outside. Gonna be able to clear now. It's gonna be Kenny Reel back to the front. That number 88, no stranger to leading here at Super Speedways. Aggressive moves paying off here in the second half of this race for Kenny Reel. He's showing the way on the inside lane. Max Bauer on the outside lane. Just him and his teammate Dalton Brewington trying to hang on to this top 5. I don't think it's going to happen very long. You got the whole half of the field lined up on the inside, single file, pushing and shoving, trying to make time. I think they're going to get shuffled to the back here inevitably. If we have any friends and family of the drivers in chat and text chat here on YouTube, we'd love to hear who you're rooting for this afternoon, who you think is going to come out on top. Seeing some pretty strong moves here. That 88 been mid-pack pretty much the whole race, even with a little left front damage we're seeing on that car. He's been able to make moves and pretty much slice his way through the top 10. Finds himself out front as we see two long shot teammates going to the outside now. They're tired of riding in line behind those two. They're going to try to get that lead back. Up the middle, the long shot pair, the 14 and 31, followed by the Team Highlands Racing pair of the 89 and the 7. The 7 still lagging a little bit behind his teammate. Max Bauman's going to tack on to that too. Someone hopefully clear. Not quite going to be able to get down. Yes, he is. P3 for Bauman. Crank Bell back to the lead, followed by the 31 of Aaron Mack. Things are starting to get racy now here just past the halfway point, lap 47. And look at this. The second pack has caught the lead pack through all this exchange of positions. Second pack is involved in the mix now. Cody Schultz to the outside in the 30. He's starting to make moves. He's up to P5 now. Schultz, Doffing, and Wiggins on the outside trying to make... Oh, contact with 42. Big wreck. Caution is going to come out. 42 pounds the outside wall into turn 1. Terrible luck for Barry Knapp in the 42. That car is severely crippled. Huge contact with the outside wall. We'll go back and see what happened in an instant replay here. Take a look. Keep an eye on that 42 machine going into turn 1. Oh, just comes up at the same time Schultz comes down. They get contact multiple times. Schultz hard into the outside fence as well. Might have actually taken the brunt of that. You see some network connection issues. Might have spared the 42 of too much damage. I think the 30 might have got most of the damage in that wreck. You see the front bumper hanging off the 42, but I don't see any steering damage. That might not be as bad for the 42 as we think. The 30, definitely. Cody Schultz taking a massive hit. You see the wobble in that left front tire. That's going to cost him dearly. That's going to be quite a few laps to repair that damage. Expect at least 8 to 10 minutes of repairs for that number 30 machine. Finally got rolling again. Caught the lead pack, and unfortunately, as we said at the beginning of the race, luck plays a big factor in these races. That'll be one of the Snake River Racing entries. Down several laps and out of contention for the afternoon. Meanwhile, out front, still Crank Bell leading the way. He's going to lead the field down pit lane, top off on fuel, get some fresh tires on these machines. Ready to send them off one more time. cautions result in more cautions, and we're seeing it in play now. Another caution out here just past the halfway point in the race. We'll see if we can get a clean fire off this time. Things are getting racy at the front of the pack. Everyone trying to claim their bonus points for leading a lap. Saw quite a few stamp their punch their ticket to first place and that free bonus point by leading a lap. Saw the 88 accomplish that, as well as the number 9. Cody Schultz was well on his way with that outside lane coming fast, doing the same himself, but unfortunately before he could get there, disaster strikes. Looks like we got a few cars staying out on the racetrack. Brennan Odell and Alan Blue. Max Bauman, Devin Maines, Alex Wiggins, Randall Peasley, all going to stay out on the racetrack. I apologize. Maines and Wiggins both pit. So it will just be Brennan Odell and Alan Blue staying out. Their last pit stop was on lap number 29. Problems under caution as a few cars get stacked up. We see several cars coming back down pit lane again to top off, trying to pack as much fuel into the fuel cell as possible, minimize the fuel they have to take on the final stop. Assuming they need to, they might be able to make it to the finish from here. Probably trying to pack some extra fuel in case of a green-white checkered finish. If we go into overtime, some of these guys who have not come into pit yet might be a little bit close on fuel. We know the 1623 will have to come in again, having last pit at lap 29. Maybe banking on another quick caution for the 23 and the 16. Devin Maines in the 5, all alone right now. Had been running with Bell and Mack for most of the afternoon. Finds himself alone amidst the foursome of Team Highlands Racing entries. Just behind him. Long way to go in this race. Plenty can happen between now and the finish. Plenty of cars still in contention. Currently 13 cars on the lead lap. Jake Doffing, the 13, being the last of those. Knapp and Schultz both several laps down, both needing extensive damage repairs on their respective vehicles. Potentially more positions to be gained for Zach Miller, who is on track again after repairs.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Alan Blue, Brendan Odell going to lead him. Alan Blue missed a shift or something. Inside line stacks up majorly. Cars scattering everywhere. Still not up to speed for the 23. Sounds like it might be in fourth gear. Very low RPM for the 23. Still not up to speed. Everyone behind scrambling to get around the 23. Out front, Brennan Odell easily takes the lead by going around the outside. Devin Maines behind him. Robert Eagle and Brad Yake behind them. It is a mad scramble in the mid-pack right now. Alan Blue leading them. Dalton Brewington second behind him. Running 4th and 5th on track. Kenny Reel coming up close behind the number 7, trying to give him a little bit of assistance. Brewington looking to the outside. Bad push to Blue. Blue to the outside wall. Spinning off the nose of the 7. Go back and see if we can see exactly what happened here. Just looked like a bad push to me. You see, 7 got to the outside, drifted high a little bit, just got in the right rear corner of the 23. Got a little too much speed when he tucked out of line. And that'll be an accidental incident, of course. But it's unfortunate for that 23. Finally got situated after a bad restart. Missing some gears on that restart. Ends up spinning off the nose of the number 7, Brewington. 14, Crank Bell, you see coming up on the outside of them. Just narrowly avoided that accident. Could have been catastrophic. And heartbreaking after leading so much of this race. Odell going to maintain the lead with Maines in the 5, Robert Eagle in the 9 behind him, followed by Alex Wiggins in the 11, finally finding his way toward the front of the pack. Sorry, the 13 to Jake Doffing as well. And Reel still hanging out up front. Not sure if the damage on that has been repaired. Let's see if we can figure that out. It's like, yeah, he's got that damage repaired on the left front of that machine. Should have no issues now. Even more of an aerodynamic advantage. Lap number 55. Starting to creep up on the end of this race. Plenty of cars on pit lane taking damage repair and fuel, topping off for the end. Still had a few who hadn't pit in several laps. They're going to come in and top off again, especially if you're toward the rear of the pack. There's no harm in doing that. Nothing to lose for you other than being safe, just in case we have a couple overtime restarts. A lot of these drivers going to conserve as much fuel as possible under caution. Possibly shutting down the race cars, pushing the clutch in and coasting. Anything you can do to try to stretch that fuel mileage, especially if you're the leader. See, Odell finally came in to top off his machine with fuel. That's going to hand over the lead to the number 5 of Devin Maines. A couple more cars came back in to top off. Dalton Brewington on pit road, Crank Bell, Brennan Odell, Aaron Mack in the 31. Quite a few cars coming in to top off. Just make sure they have the fuel to stretch it to the end. Yet another restart. Hopefully everyone gets going smoothly this time around. should be going green next time by, I believe. Keep an eye on that Mustang pace car. Watch for those lights to go out. On board with mains, you can hear that. Clutch in right now, sitting at 300 RPM, just coasting. Saving as much fuel as possible. Only in gear for about a second at a time. Gets back up to pace speed, lets it coast. Maximum fuel saving for the number 5 right now. And he's going to need it as the leader, like we mentioned before. Leader's going to be spending the most fuel. He's going to be full throttle the entire time. It's the cars behind him that are going to get a break on fuel, running about 3/4 to 80% throttle. Everybody's going to get lined back up side by side. Lights are off on the pace car. We will go green this time by. Devin Main's going to lead them off. Robert Eagle to the outside. Kenny Reel to the inside of row 2 with Max Bauman in the 89 to his outside. See 13 and 11 who've been riding second pack most of the day. Finally find themselves toward the lead of the main pack. Dan Jensen finds himself back on the lead lap. Weren't too worried about that. He's up 14 spots on the day. Running P8 on that outside lane. All 3 of those cars back, hooked up with the lead pack and ready to go. Frank Bell, Aaron Mack, kind of back here in the danger zone. Not sure if this is where they want to be, but it's where they find themselves after pit stops. Hopefully can get through the field cleanly, make things happen here. 31's leading the 14 for one of the first times today. See if that pair works as well inverted as they did with 14 leading. Here we come, down to the green. Barney the flag man with the flag in hand in the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Here on lap number 57. Big push from the 88 to the 5. They're going to get a clean breakaway. The 89 and the 9 to the outside as well, trying to make something happen, but there's too many cars in a row on the inside. They're going to overpower that twosome. And the lead 2 still continue to gap. Third place, Jake Doffing. Inside line strong. About 10 cars strong outside, trying to make something work. 13's going to slide out of line, followed by the 11. They're going to try to get this outside lane moving. See if they can overcome that front 2. The 88 pushing like mad. Keeping that number 5 out front. Maybe the best 2-car tandem we've seen so far today. We thought the 14 and 31 were strong, but that was a massive restart for Mains and Reel. 13 slides back down as well as the 11. They're going to ride the inside lane, the 89 and the 9, trying to make something happen. Looks like Eagle's going to lead that lap, get his bonus point. Can't quite clear the 5. If he does clear the 5, we expect him possibly to move down. Ideally, he'd want to get his teammate clear too, and he's going to. THR, Team Highlands Racing Duo, make their way to the front for the first time today. It's our second time today, technically, for Robert Eagle. First time in the top 2 for Max Bauman today. Much cleaner restart for everybody. See single file all the way back through the field. A little bit of a sketchy push from the 89 there. Makes the 5 go evasive. The 88 follows him to the outside. I expect that duo to stick together because, man, did they work well on that restart. 13, Jake Doffing's going to follow him to the outside, followed by Randall Peasley and several others. Looky who's showing up again. You say that Long Shot Motorsports, 14 and 31, creeping back up through the field. P7 and 8 now, trying to make something happen on the outside lane. Still Mains leading on the inside. Doffing leading that outside lane about 3 car lengths back. Down into turn 3 they go. Eagle and Bauman on the inside. Tucked in line behind the 5 and the 88. Shuffled out of lane. Out of line was Doffing. He's going to have to surrender that lead of that outside line to the 31 and the 14. They're 3 wide in the back of this pack. Didn't last long, though. 14 to Crank Bell's going to make it through, following his teammate. Unfortunately, their help has dissipated. Now it's just the 2 of them on the outside. They are falling back toward the rear of this lead pack as the 5 still leads the way out of turn 2. Devin Maines, Kenny Reel, Robert Eagle, Max Bauman, your top 4, followed by Randall Peasley, finds himself in the top 5 once again. Driver of the day might be Kenny Reel. Absolute madman of a pusher, making crazy moves on the previous restart to get himself up toward the front, even with a little bit of front left damage on that race car earlier on. He made moves happen and got himself to the front, has kept this track position ever since, and he's up 20 positions on the day so far. Well, I tell you, the only one he has left to gain is right in front of him. We'll see if he can make that happen before the end of this race. Definitely believe he has a skill to do so. He's shown incredible talent in managing the draft and being able to push just about anybody toward the front if he feels the need to. See the long shot duo 31 and 14 still on the outside lane trying to make something happen. They're sitting about even with 5th place on the outside right now. Inside lane still single file for 6 cars deep. Jake Doffing going to ride behind them on the outside, the 13. He's at the rear of this pack. Let's check in on the second pack here. It looks like we got the 7 and the 1 working together back in 10th. We got Alex Wiggins and Dan Jensen found each other a little bit farther back. It looks like Wiggins dropped off that pack to come ride with his teammate for a while. I guess banking on a caution. I would hate for the whole thing to go green right now. Because with 2 cars, I don't think they stand a chance of catching that lead pack. As they're entering turn 1, the pack is exiting turn 2 onto the back straight. That's quite a gap to overcome with just 2 cars. Robert Eagle back out front. A big shuffle in position. You find the Team Highlands Racing duo, the 9 and the 89. Leapfrog the 5 and the 88. But Long Shot Motorsports, 31 and 14, rocketing to the front from the outside. They're going to tuck down onto that inside lane now. And the 31 Aaron Mack is going to lead a lap this time by. He's going to get his bonus point. Big run for the 5 there, jumping to the outside lane. It could be close at the line. No, not quite. Caution comes out. We see someone going for a spin behind. That might have been Brendan Odell? I believe it could have been. Yeah, looks like heavy left front damage there. Go ahead and look at the replay. Yeah, it looks like he might have just come out of pit lane at the time of the caution. Go ahead and rewind this a little bit. We'll go on board with, let's see. We'll go on board with Peasley and rewind just a little bit, see if we can't figure out what caused this caution flag. Definitely saw some car jolt to the right. Oh, that was the 16. That was Brendan Odell. Looks like he might have thought he was clear. 13 gets a run. Spins off the nose of 13 from the outside lane, comes down across the nose. Oh, massive impact for the 42. Very Knapp finally got about 3 laps. He's only about 3 laps down. And just massive impact after the repairs he had to do earlier on in the race. It's terrible luck for Knapp so far. The front end of that car completely torn off again. Same with the, I can't tell. The 13 might have some damage. Let's go ahead and check in on, Jake Doffing. He spun across his nose. I don't see any significant damage to speak of on his car. Front end looking pretty clean on the 13. Looks like he might have got away with it. See the 42 missing a front end completely once again. Aaron Mack led the field at the time of caution. 31 to 14 back out front. There are no strangers to that today, having led most of the first half of this race. Teammates behind them, the 89 and the 9. Devin Maines in the 5, trying to work with whoever he can manage to work with, as his teammate in the 21 was out very early in the race. Bit of a retro throwback feel for both of these cars. Both these teammates in the 31 and the 14 sporting a pretty classy looking paint jobs on both of these Chevy SS race cars. A little bit of a nostalgia for this Talladega weekend. Got the classic looking Coca-Cola livery on the number 14, looking absolutely gorgeous here with that gold metallic flake glinting off the hood in the Alabama sunshine. I love to see it. Gonna get the 1 to go from the flag man. Field's gonna spread out side by side as we get ready to take the green flag next time by. Good to see everyone in chat here. Jillian, Andy, Jillian rooting for the number 9. Robert doing great so far. Sitting in P3 right now. Andy's looking for the comeback for Brad. Brad's got a couple laps to make up in order to make that happen. Sitting P16 right now. Not too bad considering multiple laps down he went after that first wreck this afternoon. Kenny Real commenting from the race car. You'll love to see it. Multitasking and absolutely tearing through the field. Man of many talents. Greg's rooting for Jake in the 13. Unfortunately, not doing too hot after that last caution. Greg Burchett, I see 1 point for leading lap. Does not matter how many laps they lead, still 1 point. That is incorrect, sir. 3 bonus points for leading the most laps in a race. All right, we're getting ready to wind this thing up. We got the cars stacked up. We're going to have Aaron Mack leading them to the start. Down through the triover they come toward the Geico restart zone. Let's see if the teammates can get lined up. 31's going to be looking to make a jump on the inside.
Green flag,
Maybe make a gap for his teammate. Even start for both cars. No gaps available for the 14 to slide down. See if the 31's able to clear and maybe slide up in front of his teammate. No, Bell gets hung out on the inside. 5 in the 88 down to the outside. 88 bails on the 5. He's going to slide in behind Crank Bell in that middle lane. Bell going backwards as well as the 5. 88 jumps back to the outside. Behind Devin Maines in the 5. 2 wide now. Bell slides in line behind Peasley in the 63. He's going to run P6 right now. But it's Aaron Mack out front, followed by Robert Eagle. Randall Peasley making moves as well. He's up to P4 now. Back to single file. Sepher in the back. We got Alex Wiggins, Dalton Burrington trying to make something happen in the rear. Looks like they're both going to file down, get in line. 42 has damage, so he's going to let the pack bypass him. Big moves to the outside. Saw Crank Bell cut out of line. Now back in line in front of Kenny. Lots of shuffling going on from the mid-pack on back. We got just 11 cars on the lead lap now. Out front, still Mac. That second lane forming again with the 5 in the lead, followed by the 14 and the 88. The 9 of Eagle going to slide up in front of them as well. He's going to take the lead. He's going to ride that momentum on the outside lane. Overlapping that 31. He's going to take the lead and slide down to the inside with his teammate, Max Bauman. Inside lane, too fragmented to go anywhere right now. See a lot of moves being made, a lot of single spot moves trying to happen right now. 31 slides to the outside in front of Devin Maines. He's going to be the latest to try to ride the nose of that 5 to the front of the pack. A little bit of damage to the right rear of the 9, it looks like. Doesn't seem to be affecting him too much. He's easily able to come to the front. You see Devin Maines, big side draft there. Sorry, not Maines, that's Aaron Mack in the 31. Big side draft off the 9. Him and Maines are going to push their way to the front. You see the teammate of the 31, Craig Bell, big move to the inside. His teammate going to slide down in front of him as well as Maines. That's going to leave the 88 leading the outside lane with Alex Wiggins behind. Wiggins finding himself toward the front, riding in the back of the pack most of the day. We'll be curious to see what he can do in that number 11. We know he's a good pusher as well. It's himself in the 88 right now, though. No help to be found just yet. We'll see if we get some other cars dropping on a line. We're through to lap 69 of 80 right now. 12 laps to go currently. A lot can happen between now and then. I believe a lot will happen. Single file right now, starting to spread out. Eagle goes to the outside, followed by his teammate. 3 cars to the inside. That's Mack, Maines, and Bell. And the 2 Team Highlands teammates, the 9 and the 89 to the outside, running 3rd and 4th currently. Big gap on that inside lane. The 31 and the 5 have about a 5-car breakaway with just the 2 of them. But that pack is starting to creep back in as you see Frank Bell leading that inside lane, pushed by the 88 and the 63. They've caught the pack. Wow, threading the needle for both of them. What a move by Real to slide in, take that narrow gap behind the 14 and ride that momentum to the front. He's going to get hung out of line. Will he be able to clear the 31? Not quite. 31's tucking in behind the 14. This looks familiar. This is what we saw the entire first half of the race. Massive shot from the 31 to the 14. Absolutely blasts Craig Bell out to the front by a car length and a half. What a massive shot from the 31. Both of them are going to clear the 88. Tight pack on the outside. The 88 followed by the 9 of Robert Eagle. 89, Max Bauman. Massive run on the outside. Kenny Real going to take over the lead. He's going to bail on that outside lane and slide himself down in front. Many, many moves being made, and we still have 10 laps to go, folks. Side by side for the lead. It's the 88 and the 9. Kenny Real, Robert Eagle coming out of turn 2, still door to door, dead even. Real pushed by the 14 and the 31. Eagle pushed by the 89 and the 7. 3 Team Highlands Racing teammates on the outside making a move for the lead here with 10 to go. Most of the inside lane starting to form up now. We got Devin Maines in the 5 riding back in the 7th position on that inside lane. What will he be able to do? We got the 11 of Alex Wiggins, also a fast car. Will he be able to make a move late in the race? I think a lot of these cars are hoping for a wreck up front that they can take advantage of. You see a pretty passive approach from a lot of the cars back here that are away from this double file battle. Still the 9 out front. We'll see if he stays on that outside lane with his teammates. He's going to for now. The outside starting to get a lot of momentum, able to hang pretty tight with his inside lane despite the superior numbers on the bottom. The 9 and the 89 both clear that inside lane right now, but the 88, sorry, coming back into turn 3. Now alongside for the lead. Kenny Real in the 88, followed by the 14 of Crank Bell. Bell locked onto the back bumper of that 88, pushing for all he's worth through the tri-oval. White knuckle driving, no doubt, out of these lead cars as the cars behind them push for all they're worth, and the back end of those cars gets really light as you see the 9 wiggle on the outside lane after a push. Inside lane very organized and tidy right now. The momentum just couldn't quite be held on that outside lane. You see the 7 fell off the back of the 89. That's going to kill their momentum a little bit, as well as that lift after the 9 got loose. Right now, inside lane, clear by 5 cars. It's Real, Bell, Mack, and Maines leading the inside line. Outside lane looking to rebuild right now. No momentum yet, but expect them to start coming back before the end of the race. They'll be coming to 7 to go as they cross the stripe now. No change of position. Outside lane still forming, trying to rebuild the momentum that they lost. 89 tucked up on the back bumper of Eagle in the 9. The 7 of Brewington following his teammates through. Behind Brewington is, I believe, Jake Doffing on the outside. He's making a bit of a recovery. Sorry, not Jake Doffing. That's Brad Yank, the other THR car. Finds himself back in the mix despite being several laps down. Helping out that outside lane as much as he can. Back out front, we see the 14 jump to the outside in front of the 31. Ooh, bit of a touchy bump there from the 31 that time. Got Bell loose, lost him a little bit of momentum, but that outside lane has the superior numbers now. Neck and neck, the 88 and the 14 as they go into turn 3. Or sorry, turn 1. Advantage, Crank Bell on the outside, cleared by 1 car length of Real on the inside. Bell with help from his teammate, the Team Highlands Racing cars on the outside. It's the 14, 31, and 9 clear of the inside lane. Down into turn 3. This has been when their inside lane starts to build momentum. Not going to happen this time. Real out by himself. No close help. The 5 fell off him a little bit right there, and the 5 is going to look to the outside lane. Real being absolutely hung out to dry as the teammates start to pair up again. As teammates start working together, you've seen that 88 and the 5 both solo in this race, starting to fall back without help. Team Highlands teammates to the inside in the 9, 89, and 7. Long shot teammates to the middle lane, the 14 and 31, and the outside, here comes the 11 and the 13. It's Crank Bell by 1 car length in the middle, down the back straight. Both teammates going to clear the inside lane. They're going to slide down in front of Devin Maines as well. This threesome that led almost the entire first half of the race find themselves out front again, coming to 4 to go at Talladega. 88 desperately trying to make a move happen on the outside. No help whatsoever. Like we said, any friendships formed throughout the middle portion of this race go out the window once the race is on the line. The friends you thought you had will abandon you. Still the 14, single file for the first 4 cars out front. On the bottom, it's Bell, Mack, Maines, Eagle, and Bauman. Network issues for the 89. He's going to slide to the outside, following his teammate Eagle, trying to build some momentum. Can't see where that 89 is. Bad time to have internet issues. No one's going to want to run with you if they can't see you. Currently the issue facing the 88. The 88 is forced to get behind the 89. We'll see if he stays in line or tucks out. Tries to tuck in. Yeah, he's going to bail for that inside lane. Smart move there by Kenny. Out front, Crank Bell, Aaron Mack, Devin Maines, Robert Eagle, Dalton Brewington, your top 5, all running single file on that inside lane. We got two pairs of teammates in the front with equal shots to make this happen. It's going to be hard-pressed for that 5 to make a move by himself. Woohoo! And as soon as I say that,
Somewhere. There's a driver there, homie.
we're going to caution out somewhere in the back. See several cars scattered down to the inside of the racetrack. This is going to make things interesting. We just had 3 laps to go. We've got a caution. We're going to head to overtime in this race. As the field gets woed down to pace speed, it looks like Max Bauman in the 89 might have been the one to have issues back here. Right along with him. Oh, let's take a look back at what happened. Once again, looks like he crowded the 88 to the bottom a little bit. Play it slow-mo for us here. 88 riding that inside line, comes up. 88 gets help from the 1. I guarantee that's what just happened there. Let's rewind this one more time, and we'll get a better view from above. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. I believe the 1 car, the purple car, second in line, comes a little bit to the left and hooks the right rear of the 88, but we will see. Ah, that is very close. You do see the 88 start to drift down, though. Yep, that is what happened. Or, sorry, the 1 start to drift down into the 88. Hooking that right rear and sending him into the 89, unfortunately. Unfortunate for the 88, who has done so good today. Check for damage on this 88, see how bad he got it. Car looks pretty clean. I'm thinking he's got a fair shot of still being competitive here if he can find someone to work with. That's been the problem facing him the last few laps of this race, and with 2 to go, once they take the green flag, he's going to be hard-pressed to find someone who will willingly take him to the front. But we saw it happen earlier in the race. Making solo moves, was able to make it happen. But he's going to have a major uphill climb with all the teammates in the front. You got the duos. Well, sorry, you have 1 duo now. You got the 14 and 31 out front. The 9 lost his 89, who was helping him most of the day. Still got the 7, though. See if Brewington can give Eagle a good shot. Potentially compete with that Long Shot Motorsports 31 and 14 for this win. Good save, Kenny. Good stuff, man. The curse of Royal Pegasus Motorsports lives on for another season. Unfortunately, that does seem to be true, at least at Talladega. We'll hope for better results at a track with a little more, it's a little less of a wild card, we'll say. Good to have everyone with us tonight. Thanks for being here, watching with us here on the Boom Tube. If you like what you see and want to be able to find the channel easier, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Greatly appreciate that. Helps us grow our following just a little bit, so more people are able to follow along with the race and watch along with us and potentially race in the series as we gain a little more notoriety. Some more cars in the field past our about 22 car field right now. We'd love to expand that out to the 30s if we can. More people in the field, the better prizes we're able to offer, or sponsorship opportunities we get as well. For the benefit of everyone. Stacked up double file once again. Going to be Bell to the inside. Mack to the outside. Robert Eagle is going to be on the inside, row 2, with the 5 of Devin Maines hanging on the outside, row 2. Brewington behind his teammate in the 7. They've got the advantage here because the 31 and the 14 have to be able to work together. We'll see if the 5 allows that to happen. If I'm Devin Maines, I want to try to push that 31, but not too hard. I want to keep these two separated as long as possible because if you're a solo car, you're going to want to do what you can to give yourself the advantage here. And I think that 31 gets clear of the 14. He's probably going to slide down and take that opportunity to work with his teammate. But we'll see. All bets are off. We're going to have 2 to go once they get the green flag. You take the green flag, come around again for the white flag. Then the flag after that will be the checkered flag. Assuming there's no more cautions before they take the white. 14 wants to see that white 1 to go flag. Anything that happens after that point, if he's leading, will end the race. Lots of anticipation. Drivers probably getting comfortable, trying to get the heart rate in check. This is real exciting racing if you're actually driving. I'm sure some of you with spouses or friends in this race in the next room can probably hear the heavy breathing from wherever you happen to be watching from. But here we go. Mustang pace car pulls off the pit lane. Getting ready to go green once again, heading down toward the Geico restart zone. It's going to be Bell to the inside. Mack, his teammate, to the outside. Laying back a little bit on the outside lane, maybe trying to get a jump here. Can he time it right?
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. 2 laps to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. Good start for the 14, but the 9 laid back. He's not going to push him. Unfortunately, he leaves a gap for his teammate to get down. The 7 laying off the back of the 9. He doesn't have help right now. He's going to have to hitchhike off the 14 and the 31. Devin Maines trying to find a way down into line because he's by himself right now. Doesn't find it. It's the teammates, the 14 to 31. Crank Bell, Aaron Mack out front, leading the way. Both of them to the inside lane. Outside lane, getting momentum. Here comes Devin Maines and Randall Peasley to the outside. Third in line on the outside. Guess who's back? It's Kenny Reel. Out of turn 4, still Crank Bell in the lead. Here they come down to the white flag through the tri-oval. Remember, start-finish line's a little farther back. It's not in the tri-oval. It's right here. Devin Maines to the lead, followed by Randall Peasley. Peasley all over the back of that 5 machine, shoving for all he's worth. Both of them sliding down to the inside lane. Kenny Reel in the middle, 3 wide for third. Gets loose off the front of the 9. 9, big wreck. Big wreck in the back. The 9, the 7, the 88. White flag is out. They're going to race back to the line. It is a wreck, but they all crashed out to the back of the field. We're wrecking again. The 14 goes around off the nose of the 63, I believe. Devin Maines, the solo car without teammate help. He is leading into the tri-oval with the 11 behind him. By 1 car, by half a car, the 11 looking for somewhere to go. The 5 blocks gets spun at the line. Alex Wiggins may have just won this race. Let's take a look at that finish, though. Let's get a closer look at this. And we'll stay right here on board in the cockpit of the 11 car and see what he sees. All right. Goes to the inside, 5 blocks it off. Aggressive block by the 5. I don't know if I can call that the 11's fault. The 5 did move up the track. Leave that for the stewards to figure out. Let's watch it just one more time, though. Coming through the tri-oval, big run for the 11 of Wiggins. Massive run on the 5 all by himself. Fakes to the outside, goes inside, late block by the 5. I think if you're the 5, you probably needed to come down a little bit sooner, but I think he fell for the feint. and tried blocking to the outside first and didn't realize it before it was too late. The 11 already had part of a nose to the inside, just enough to make that accident happen. Well, a finish that was. We'll go back a little bit farther. We saw Frank Bell getting quite the incident earlier on. We're going to rewind just a little bit farther to figure out what happened here. Several different incidents coming down to the finish. Frank Bell riding behind the 5 right here. Makes a move down, just clears himself off the 63 and didn't have the space. Tries making a move in a gap that wasn't there, spins himself. Unfortunate after such a strong day. He will get some bonus points though. I believe the 14 will get the most laps led for the day. So not all is lost, stacking up some extra points. But the man who crossed the stripe first, that's going to be the 11, Alex Wiggins. Claiming victory in the first race of the season. Alright, we got our top 3 finishers here. You see Jake Doffing came through for P3 after he got shuffled all the way to the back of that lead pack earlier on. Great recovery by all of these drivers, and we got them sitting in the green room ready for some post-race interviews. Very up and down day for a lot of drivers. Let's go ahead and get Jake in here. And I will try to make sure we have our Discord audio working properly. All right, let's get Jake in here. See how his day went. Jake, it's Adam LaVox up here in the booth for BoomTube. How you doing, sir? Strong P3 finish. Well, I would be doing better if our audience could hear you. Give me just a second to fix a little bit of an issue we're having here. All right, let's try this again. I believe we got you now.
Testing.
Perfect. All right, well, P3
Excellent.
finish. It was an up and down day for you. We saw you ride in the back for the first couple runs with I believe Dan and a couple other guys.
Yeah, I was trying to keep all the boys there together. We just kept having to sag off too much and just try to drag around in the back, and we kind of got lucky with how much kind of randomness happened in the race with us kind of getting blessed with some cautions and getting back into it. But dude, I'm stoked. This is the first time ever being in a green room, so can't complain.
Well, hey, good to have you here. Good to see you having a strong start to the season. P3 definitely came out of nowhere at the end. Made some really good moves and good choices. Unlike some of the other guys we saw clearing themselves when they weren't clear and other such moves at the end. You kept your cool throughout the whole race and just made it happen when it counted. We saw a lot of aggression, but we saw you pretty chill the whole race. Was that kind of your strategy going in today? Is just keep your nose clean and try your best to be there at the end?
Every time we do end up doing these plate tracks, it's just always like chaos, and it's just all about like just the war of attrition for the first 75 laps of the race, and then it's go time when it's ready for those green white checkers and everything at the end. So yeah, it's pretty much all of us just wanted to hang out in the back and just avoid all the chaos, and we got lucky and were able to get it through the line, and only 2 of the boys got through and finished up high, so we could have had more of us. I kind of almost caused that caution like middle of the race when Cody got kind of tangled up with I can't remember exactly who he got tangled up with, but yeah, man, just thankful for my teammates and just thankful for getting a P3, man, to open this up.
Yeah, well, congrats on a great debut for the series and great debut for your season. Unfortunately, I wish it could have gone better for the teammates and everything in order to stack up some a good start for your team championship bid. But I'm sure that'll, that was a bit of a wild card for everybody this weekend. It looks like pretty much all the teammates in the field got split up throughout the course of the day.
Yeah.
The 31 lost the 14 at the end there, and just one by one they kind of dropped, and at the end it was just kind of a shootout between whoever happened to be left. So no friends at the end.
No, not at all.
Well, congratulations on surviving. Thanks for spending the time to interview with us. Glad to have you.
Always.
Glad to have you here in the league, and hopefully you have a. How you feeling about Iowa next week?
Short tracks, stuff where you got to break. That's for my bread and butter. That's the stuff that separates the men from the boys. So that's what I've got my eyes always on, those ones where you got to break and all the short tracks and everything. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right, we'll look to ride that momentum into another strong finish next week. I like the confidence heading into Iowa. So congrats on the P3, strong start to the season, and we hope to see you continue that success next week. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, sounds good, man. See you soon.
All right. All right, that was Jake Doffing, driver the number 13 at Budweiser Chevrolet. Finished P3 today. Next, we're going to bring in Devin Maines, finishing P2. Devin Maines, driver the number 5 Chevrolet. How you doing after that P2 finish, sir?
Less than thrilled, but it is what it is. I haven't looked at it yet, but it looked like I got hooked by a car on the apron. But I haven't looked at it, so can't confirm. But this absolutely adds to the 5-11 saga, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Continued yet for another season. I'll let you go back and look at it yourself. I like the raw reaction from the beginning. I am undecided. I'll say that much. It was close enough to I think merit a second thought. So it didn't
I haven't
look
looked
as
at it, so I
Yeah.
absolutely chased him back down. But from what I could tell, he was on the apron when I got turned. But again, that was just from in the car, so could be wrong. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I mean, overall, you had a great day. I just wanted to shout out your ability to stay up there despite being essentially a single car for most of the day. Your teammate fell off pretty early in that first wreck, and so you were just kind of hitchhiking your way to the front and staying there throughout the day. I was impressed you stayed top 3 for the majority of the race despite being a single car, and we saw that just got even harder. We saw Kenny in the 88 trying to do the same thing with just a single car, and he got hung out to dry by everybody at the end. We knew he'd be strong, but it'd be a matter of not having a teammate there and not having any friends at the end either. So you were able to survive that and still bring it home P2, which I think is quite an accomplishment. So, I mean, how did your day look being a single car? What were you looking for to try to maintain your track position?
Well, yeah, unfortunate for Chris. He got caught up early. But luckily, just because my official teammate is gone doesn't mean I don't have friends that were in here around me. So I knew who I could count on and who to try to avoid. But I felt like I was making pretty good moves all day. Some moves a little ballsier than others, but made them work. I knew that in order to even have a shot, you gotta stay up front because, as we saw, everything just gets broken up, and if you're not with that lead pack, you're kind of SOL. So my plan was to try to ride second, third, top 5 all day, and then when it got a little hectic, I kind of dropped back a little bit because I expected some chaos, and then was just at that point then move back up. So I think I drove a good race. It just didn't work out the way I had hoped.
Well, I'd have to agree with that. You gave yourself a shot when it counted, despite any hurdles you had to overcome, getting split off from some friends and teammates early on. Overall, I'd say that was a pretty successful race, despite being the one that got away, as it were. It'd be nice to open the season with a win and kind of continue the success from the end of last season. But like you said, the 5-11 saga goes on. It's kind of weird how this kind of mimics reality. That tended to be its own saga in reality too, and we see it continued here in the virtual world. But
yeah, and just to be clear, like I have no like ill feelings towards Alex, but we always just end up together. So it's always ends up fun.
Best frenemies. All right. Well, congrats on P2. I know it doesn't feel like something to congratulate you for, because you were right there at the end. But overall, I mean, you got to give yourself a pat on the back for running pretty much a perfect race. You were there when it counted, despite being at a bit of a disadvantage compared to some other guys who had 2-3 teammates to work with pretty much the whole race. So congrats on that. Congrats on a strong start to the season, and we'll see you in Iowa next week.
Yep. Before you let me go, I just got to thank you with BoomTube now for help putting this on. 614 Designs, all them for putting this on. Also, I know this is a fixed race in ARCA, but I got to thank Team Watson Racing Setups for helping me out regularly, and then Bully Dog Coffee Company as well for helping me out.
All right, absolutely. Shouting out the sponsors, taking care of them as always. Appreciate it. Appreciate the shout out to the YouTube channel as well. So once again, congrats. Good luck next week, and we'll see you around. Hopefully, we'll be interviewing you for a second race in a row.
Yep, Lord willing. Have a good one, Adam.
All right, you too, Devin. Thanks. All right, that was Devin Maines, driver, the number 5, your P2 finisher. We're going to bring Alex Wiggins in, driver of the number 11. Alex Wiggins, how are we doing this evening, sir? Conflicted. That sounds about like the reaction of driver 5.
I'm lost. I haven't gotten the chance to look at it. I don't know what happened, so I don't want to say anything. I feel like I was there. I very well could not have been.
Don't incriminate yourself. It's not what we're here for.
Oh, I will. I'll end up doing that all the time. Out of all the guys to wreck with, he's the last one I want to. I feel bad. I know we had run-ins before, and he's probably the last guy I'd want to wreck with.
Yeah, he does tend to be aggressive. We saw that last season, and just like real life, drivers hold grudges, and you don't want to do that. The saga continues, but overall, good race. We saw you running around kind of that second pack for most of the day, and sure enough, last couple restarts, you found your way up here. You kind of lost your help at some point. You still had Jake there, who seemed to be tagging around with you for most of the day, running their P3, but at the end of the day, you found yourself with a big run on him at the end. I'm not going to say it was fault one way or the other. If it were me making the call, I would be on the fence. We'll say that. I don't think it was. I wouldn't envy the admins this week. They're going to have fun trying to make sense of that. But I think it was a racing incident personally. Just disclaimer, my opinion means nothing. So, but just from my opinion, we watched it back a couple times on the broadcast, and audience can form their opinions as well. You can yell at whoever you wanna in the chat. We'll be more than welcome to take it, and I'm sure Alex will go through and read all those and yell at you later. But overall, you still came out P1 at the end of the day. That's what matters. You you make friends, you lose friends, but at the end of the day, the checkered flag's your best friend, and that's what you had a meeting with at the end here. Just congrats. Take us through your day. We saw you start with a pretty conservative start to the race. First couple runs, riding in the back with the I can't remember team names now. The Snake River guys, and you worked your way forward from there.
Yeah, we just kind of stuck together. Our goal was just to get to the end, because a lot of us we'll end up try to stay up front. We'll get wrecked somewhere near the start of the race. So our goal is just to stay in the back, which we did pretty well. Fell off the pack a couple times, which was going to happen, but we figured there'd be plenty of cautions, and there was. And that was it. I think Cody got wrecked early on, and then Dan got unlucky with a few things, and me and Jake at the end. I was honestly thinking he was going to win, and then they wrecked in 3 and 4, and he ended up getting the wall. But yeah, just trying to stay conservative and be there at the end. I think I started dead last, so I guess I started right where my goal was, just run in the back and be there at the end.
Absolutely, and it worked out to your benefit. And we saw that's the thing about Talladega. Beginning of the broadcast, we kind of laid out there's going to be a lot of different strategies, a lot of different approaches to this race, and at the end of it, we saw two polar opposite approaches come together at the very end for the win. We saw Devin was trying to stay top 3 for almost the entire race, just holding that track position, trying to keep his nose clean and everything, stay in front of any potential issues. And we saw you take the opposite approach, and funny how both those opposite approaches seem to work out. It's people in the middle of the pack who end up losing out at the end of the day. But he kept the track position. You got the track position at the end when it counted, and came home with the win for the first race of the year. So you got that extra bonus point, obviously, for leading the lap. The one that counted. Was that your only lap led today? Was the last one?
I'm fairly certain it was, yeah.
Well, all right, Kevin Harvick. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
But big congrats on the win. I'll give you the floor for a minute. Anyone you want to shout out? Friends, family, sponsors, all the rest?
Just the guys that helped me today, and you for the broadcast, Zach, and everything that you and him both do put this on. It's just fun to come out here on a Thursday and just have some fun.
Absolutely. Glad to watch it myself. The second half of that race was a blast. My voice is starting to go away from about the last 15 laps of just leapfrogging like crazy in that front pack. So I'm going to go get some well-needed rest after we wrap up this broadcast. But congrats on the win. Are you looking forward to Iowa next week? Do you think that's going to be a strong race for you?
It should be. I haven't had the best luck with Iowa, but it's been a good track, multi-groove, down in 3 and 4. So that'll be fun to see how it plays out with tire wear and everything else.
Yeah, it should be pretty racy. It'll be our first time seeing the track in the ARCA cars. We'll see how they handle, how the race evolves, how the tire wear strategies work out for everybody, and hopefully we get some more exciting racing to continue from the momentum we built here at Talladega. What a great start to the season. Just want to thank you and all the rest of the drivers for coming out and putting this on for us to watch. Yeah, best of luck to you. Congrats on the win again, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that was Alex Wiggins, winner of this race. Got a couple more. Go ahead and bring in Kenny Reel, driver that number 88, if I can. We blacked out our screen here. We'll jump back a little bit. All right. I guess we'll do some bonus interviews. Kenny, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. That was quite the race to watch. Exciting for myself and all the viewers. We saw you have a lot of success working pretty much by yourself for most of the day. Didn't quite work out at the end, but all together, what did you think of today's race? Did you have fun, at least in the opening stages?
Yeah, I had fun. I mean, it was frustrating me that no one would make moves. I mean, I'm not one to ride in line. I want to race and have fun. So it's frustrating me. I mean, but I get it. People are saving fuel at the early parts of the stages, and because if you get green flag stops, you want to make them as quick as possible. So I get it, but I play race all the time, and I like having fun, making moves, and I guess people didn't like that so much. So, but it was fun. I mean, the finish was fun. I got P9 out of that somehow after getting wrecked on the back stretch, but I had it saved, but we just wadded them up. But all in all, it was a pretty fun race.
Yeah, I saw several good saves from you throughout the race. I have to say, I appreciate that mentality because you provided probably half the entertainment for this race, making strong solo moves, weaving in and out of traffic, gaining a lot of spots. I don't know how many times you went back to front of that lead draft pack, but it was entertaining to watch. You definitely looked like Dale Jr. might have been in the car because you saw the 88 doing what it does, making passes at super speedways like it's nothing. So that was really entertaining. Well, yeah, good to hear you had a pretty good race, and hopefully we see you with us throughout the rest of the season. This is your first season with us, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you. Absolutely. We'll hopefully get your number fixed. We got you as number 24 accidentally this week just because of the late edition, so we'll get you your proper number before next week. But yeah, just wanted to thank you for racing with us, putting on a great show for everybody watching. We got a good 95 views tonight. About 20 viewers concurrently, so plenty of people enjoying watching you make some masterclass moves on Talladega here. So just wanted to thank you and shout you out, get you in here and see how your race went and how you felt about the whole thing, because yeah, you definitely provided a good chunk of the entertainment tonight.
Yeah, this car is unique. If you can't really push, you can push in this car, but once you get tandem, it just hooks the car. You can be literally lined up perfectly on someone on the backstretch and it'll just hook them. It's odd, but it happens in this car. And if you don't know that, that's why there's so many people getting turned when they're getting pushed today, because if they haven't raced it on a plate track yet, they haven't realized that this car is notorious for bumper hooking. So that's why there was a lot of cautions, but yeah, it was fun.
That's some good insight to have, because yeah, we definitely saw that happen on several occasions, and kind of wondered about that, because I admit I don't have that experience with these cars anyway, so getting those little nuggets of insight is great for myself and the viewers to know going forward, because I don't know if it has to do with the netcode. I know they've had some netcode struggles and things with these cars.
Yeah.
Probably those two things together don't bode well for the super speedway racing, but all things considered, I still think it went pretty well tonight.
Yeah, it did. It went good. It was like I said, entertaining race. I tried to make as many moves as I could. I know a lot of people weren't happy with me side drafting them, but I'm just not one to sit in line. I wanted to have fun, and that's what I did.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Still brought it home top 10, so congrats on that, and we'll hope to see you next week in Iowa.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, take care, Kenny. All right, I think we're going to wrap up interviews for this evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out and watching the race with us tonight. Next week, like we said, Iowa Speedway, same time, same place, 8:45 p.m. Eastern time here on the Boom Tube. Gonna get ready to shoot them off for round 2 of our championship. And we'll get you updated points standings both for the drivers and teams as we go throughout the week. So keep your eye on the channel. We'll be posting a few updates, adding a few more things, to keep everybody up to date on what's going on that we didn't have last season. So hopefully improving our broadcast, improving our just our information channels and everything like that to keep you all up to date, so you know what's going on with your favorite drivers and the league as a whole. If you'd like to join the league, go ahead and get in contact with Zach Miller. He's the one you're going to want to look for. He's also the owner of 614 Designs, so go ahead and look that up on Instagram when you get the chance if you need paint done for iRacing. And, of course, I'd like to thank Zach for putting this race on, or this league on, rather, and giving us the opportunity to broadcast this, and it puts on a great show every week. I want to thank Track Racer. They make some awesome sim racing cockpits and seats that a lot of these drivers utilize to good effect. Great build quality, great pricing, so if you're in the market for anything like that, go ahead and check out Track Racer. And I think that's going to do it for this week. We hope to see you all again next Thursday night. We're going to be at Iowa Speedway, and we'll see how that goes. Vastly different racing. it's a lot shorter track. I honestly don't remember how long Iowa Speedway is, but I know it is a short track, requires a lot more braking. It's, I believe, less than a mile. It's 0.875 mile short track. So it's going to be a night and day difference from what we saw this week. Going to be probably some beating and banging throughout the race, and probably some flaring tempers, not unlike today, just in a different format. So going from the high banks 2.6 mile track down to a little short track next week. We're going to have a lot of contrast in the racing styles and maybe some different people out front. We'll have to see, and you can only see if you come right back here to the Boom Tube next Thursday night. We hope to see you again. Thank you for watching. I've been Adam Lavox here for the Boom Tube. We'll see you next time.